Do you remember how painfully slow childhood felt? Waiting for your birthday felt endless. Summer vacation felt like an entire lifetime. One single year felt huge. But now, you celebrate New Year's Eve. Blink once. And suddenly it's already October again. Another year gone. And deep down, that realization feels terrifying. Because at some point in adulthood, time stops feeling like an ocean and starts feeling like sand slipping through your fingers. Weeks blur together. Months disappear instantly. Entire years evaporate without leaving much behind. And the scary part is, most people barely notice it happening until it's already too late. But here's the strange truth. The universe is not moving faster. Time itself hasn't changed. Your brain has. And neuroscience suggests your mind may be quietly fast-forwarding your entire life without you even realizing it. Before we open up the psychology behind why time feels broken, subscribe to the channel and join our lab of thinkers. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand how to mentally slow your life back down. To understand why life feels faster as you age, we first need to understand something deeply unsettling about human memory. In 1877, philosopher Paul Janet introduced what's now called proportional theory. And the math behind it is honestly disturbing. When you're 5 years old, one single year represents 20% of your entire life experience. That year contains 20% of your memories, 20% of your emotions, 20% of everything you've ever known. Which makes it feel enormous. Every holiday feels magical. Every summer feels endless. Every school year feels like a completely different chapter of life. But by age 50, one single year represents only 2% of your total lived experience. Psychologically, that same year barely registers with the same emotional weight. Your brain doesn't experience time linearly. It experiences time proportionally. And that leads to a deeply uncomfortable realization. The halfway point of your perceived life may not happen in middle age, but somewhere around childhood. Around age 7 to 10. Pause for a second and really think about that. By the time you were a child, you may have already experienced half of your subjective perception of time. Not because life is actually shorter, but because your brain slowly compresses experience as familiarity increases. But mathematics is only half the story. The real reason life speeds up has more to do with memory encoding than clocks. Neuroscientists discovered something fascinating. Your brain measures time based on how many new memories it records. Think of your mind like a camera. When you're a child, everything is new. New smells. New streets. New fears. New people. New experiences. Your brain becomes hyper-focused. It records life in extreme detail. Almost like filming at 120 frames per second. That's why childhood memories feel so vivid and emotionally rich. You can still remember tiny details from random moments years ago. The smell of a classroom. The feeling of riding your bike at sunset. The sound of cartoons early in the morning. Because your brain was fully awake. But adulthood changes everything. Most adults wake up at the same time. Drive the same roads. Talk to the same people. Sit in the same rooms. And repeat the same routines for years. And when the brain sees familiar information repeatedly, it stops recording with the same intensity. To conserve energy, the mind enters autopilot. This process is linked to something called synaptic pruning. Your brain basically says, I've already seen this before. So instead of recording life in high definition, it compresses the data. And suddenly entire years blur together. Monday becomes Friday instantly. January becomes December overnight. This is why your 20s feel faster than your teens. And your 40s feel faster than your 20s. Your brain is recording less detail. Which brings us to something psychologists call the holiday paradox. Have you ever noticed how vacations feel short while you're on them, but strangely long when you look back later? That's because your brain was flooded with novelty. New food. New streets. New languages. New environments. Your mind was fully awake again. Every moment demanded attention. But routine does the opposite. Routine compresses time. And modern life has created the ultimate time accelerator. Infinite scrolling. TikTok. Instagram. YouTube Shorts. 3 hours disappear in what feels like 15 minutes. Why? Because your brain receives constant dopamine stimulation. Without creating meaningful memories. You consume endless content. But retain almost none of it. Which means your brain has nothing solid to anchor those hours to. You experience stimulation. But not presence. And psychologically. That's terrifying. Because if you spend years living on autopilot, your brain quietly turns your life into one blurry compressed file. One long repeated loop. So how do you slow time back down? You can't stop aging. But you can change how your brain experiences life. Step 1. Break autopilot. Take a different route home. Eat somewhere new. Change your morning routine. Use your non-dominant hand. Talk to someone outside your normal circle. Novelty forces the brain to start recording deeply again. Step 2. Learn difficult things. Time slows down when the brain struggles. Learning a language. An instrument. A martial art. Or any unfamiliar skill increases neuroplasticity and thickens memory formation. Your brain becomes awake again. And step 3. Become present. Stop documenting every moment. And actually live inside it. Drink coffee without scrolling. Walk without headphones. Sit in silence sometimes. Notice the air. Notice the sounds. Notice your own thoughts. Force your brain to fully process reality again. Because time is not disappearing. Your attention is. And the more unconscious your life becomes, the faster it feels. One day, everyone reaches a moment where they look back and wonder where the decades went. But maybe the goal isn't to live longer. Maybe the goal is to feel life more deeply while you still can. Seek novelty. Seek discomfort. Break routine. Because the moments that feel real are the moments your brain remembers forever. If this video made you think differently about time, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and share this with someone who feels like life is moving too fast. See you in the next one.